Now I call upon Maria Chandra of SBA to tell the welcome.
And Treasurer, Reverend Father Rajkumar Mervin, our Principal, Dr. Xavier Rajratnam, our Vice Principal, Reverend Father Kasi Salaraj, and our Dean and Campus Minister, Reverend Father Oswald Devadas, for the valuable presence. I welcome our esteemed resource person, Reverend Father Rayappa Ekasi. Your presence here today is a testament to your dedication to nurturing talent and guiding the next generation.
What is the topic that we are going to deal today? The role of nature in your English literature. And the role of nature has played an important or significant role in nature from ancient times to the modern world till today. And the person who has got a concern or a love for nature, they have been called as an eco-warrior, an ecologist, many names we can go on saying like that. And all these titles would be fitting for none other than Reverend Father Kasi Rayappa. And he is not a new face for me, because when I was doing my studies in theology, there is a subject called ecology. So we used to listen to him under the tree. But now we are going to listen about the nature, but we are going against nature and we are sitting inside the AC hall to listen to him about the nature and the role played in the English literature. And Father holds a bachelor's degree in economics and philosophy and master's degree in theology from the Propaganda Fide in Rome, and he has finished his PhD from the University of Jerusalem. And in everyone's life there is a turning point. Normally we live a life like anyhow, but then there comes a time which you have the spot and you say, that is a turning point in my life. Father too had a turning point in his life by coming across a book, A Diversity of Life by Edward Wilson, a Harvard biologist. After reading his book, he got inspired and he dedicated and decided to raise his voice against this nature who are degrading it or destruct and they want to destroy it. And that is the role that Father wants to do it. And he finds all these Hinduism or Christianism and Buddhism, Jainism, all the religion invariably will speak about the love for God, love for neighbor, and the nature which are being to be a warrior in the future and as they are living in the digital world. So welcome once again, Father. So stay with us.
Good morning. Thank you so much for welcoming me so vividly, enthusiastically, and I am so happy to see my student Oswald is here in the campus to guide me. I know he has done a good job in eco-theology, environmental ethics. I taught them 3 subjects. One is agrarian theology, environmental ethics. Actually, we are going to see some parts of environmental ethics in the English literature. And also I taught him eco-theology. In other words, ecology and theology combined together. It's known as eco-theology. Ecology is about science. Theology is about God. So you combine God and science. So that is known as eco-theology. So I'm glad that is kind of a guide here. It means non-living. Biotic means there is none other. Only 2 factors that exist on planet Earth, or on the universe, or in the multiverse. Only 2. We all came from non-living. You remember that, isn't it? So all the literature is going to talk about the biotic factors and also biotic factors. But our mind all the time give importance to living things, but we have forgotten the non-living things. The Indian mystics, they talked about non-living factors known as Panchabhutas. Remember that? What are the Panchabhutas? Soil, water, air, fire, and ether. These are the Panchabhutas, which is known as the biotic things, non-living factors. We came from them. Even Tolkapian, 300 years before Christ, Tolkapian, the author of Tolkapian, he writes about Panchabhutas, and all life is the mixture of Panchabhutas. You are a Panchabhuta mixture. I am the same. Tirumula puts it so beautifully, Andathil illadhu pindathil illai, pindathil illadhu andathil illai. Such a beautiful and amazing. You are made up of that wisdom, DNA. The whole stuff Indians are made up of ancient wisdom. Our genes are smarter, our genes are special. That's why Indians flourish all over the world because of our genes. Our DNA is amazing, amazing. We know it. We don't need a literature. We are the literature. You are the literature. You know how to read. You know how to interpret. But what we are going to see today is just a memory, just a commentary about ourselves. Are you ready? Yes. For our 1 hour session now, let us see. You're all English students, I guess. You're all BA or MA or PhD. Or you are the graduate students or postgraduate. Anybody here? No? All right. So wonderful. I already see some William Shakespeare's here. Some Bernard Shaws, Lord Byron, and William Blake, and Percy, and Daisy. All the ancient poets and playwrights. All of them are here. You know what? Literature in olden days, you have to write Shakespeare, he wrote, and then he had to go to a publisher, and they have to publish it. It will take another. By personifying nature and imbuing it with agency, emotions, and symbolism, authors create a dynamic relationship between human characters and their natural surroundings. You all know William Wordsworth, isn't it? Have you ever heard William Wordsworth? What is the best poem William Wordsworth wrote? What is the best poem you remember? Okay, anything else? Ever heard of daffodils? Anybody heard of daffodils, the flower? He was a famous poet, wrote about daffodils. You see, he created characters. A daffodil, nobody takes an interest to see a daffodil. But William Wordsworth, he takes time. I'm going to explain. In Tamil we call ecosystems like Kuriji, Mullai, Marunum, Needle, Pali. Must have heard about them, isn't it? They're all ecosystems. Each one is a literature. Kuriji is a literature about mountains. Pali is a literature about desert. It's literature about forest. Needle is literature about farms and cultivation. Neither is a literature about water, about rivers, about oceans. You see, you don't have words there, you have only works. Still, it is a literature. You should be able to read them and put some words into them. You understand? The book of works is a literature. Not only humans can read those literary work, a mountain means even birds can read. Even birds can read that literature. Animals can read literature. Even insects, they can read that literature. You understand? You see, it's not only human enterprise, it is all of creation. To the biotic and abiotic creatures, they can read. So now, we come to the one quote I want to give you. It talks about the book of works. See that? Some people, in order to discover God, read books, but there is a great book, the very appearance of great created things. Look above you. See? When you look above you, you see what? Sun, moon, and what else? Stars. What is that? Book of works. Stars. They twinkle. You know, you wrote twinkle, twinkle, little star. That poem, you know very well. It became a literature. It became a book of words. That is book of work. This is book of words. See there, now you are getting, now you are under words. It's not the tree, it's the mountain. You have to make your neck erect like that. See? You can't see mountain like this. I can see you like this. But mountain you don't see like that. You have to go like that. It's a literature. You are reading stones, you are reading temperature, you are reading, and then you wonder, what is rock is all about? Why those mountains full of rocks? What is the purpose of it? Then you contemplate, and you bring out so much of information which is already imbibed in the book of works. So everything is a work. You sit at the ocean, that is a work. That's a literature of work. And you are inspired, and you are putting it in the book of words. See there, look above you, look below you, note it. Louder voice than that. Today you go home and you sit in your backyard, front yard, or even in Kuvam River. You know Kuvam River? That is the most smelliest thing in Chennai. We all know. But there is something good in it. You should remember that. You should be able to sit down and see some truth in it. Why all this? Why all this? What is the point of Kuvam River? It is very bad? It's evil? No. It's created by humans. It can't be that bad. Those are that alphabet is given to each, every creature, to every object. So that is what Maximus is writing. So there is no ABCD symbols what we use in the paper, but still each creature symbolizes the alphabet. You understand that? All right. This is the Mexican poet. He concludes, literature is the expression of a feeling of deprivation, a recourse against a sense of something missing. But the contrary is also true. Language is what makes us human. See here? This is the thing what he says. There is the light here. Is it all right, Mullah? Sorry. Somebody help me to find the light here. The pointer. Oh, yeah. Okay. Pointer. Oh, yeah, pointer. Good. I got it. See here? It's all right. Brother, enough. It's okay. I got it. See here? This is the book of words. See? The contrary is language. This is a book of words. Humans bring language to explain the book of words because of our language, our brain. So now, if you are talking only about book of words, you are biased. You are biased. If you want to be complete, integral, if you want to be justified, you need to ready to read about the book of words. Then only it will be complete. Understand what I mean? So, what about reading only Shakespeare or William Wordsworth? Why don't you read that book first? Go and see the ecosystems outside and try to visualize and try to put language to your experience, and you write, you create a new poems. That is what today your generation needs to. So literature is Eastern and Western. Eastern literature always talk about three together. There is no separation. God, human, creation is one. Brahma, Shiva, Vishnu, each and every minute our cells are being, right now they are living, they die, the new cells are coming every second. So there is Brahma, Shiva, Vishnu, every second in action. So we don't separate. Any separation is an illusion. So our literature is far, far deep. Today, the Western literature are borrowing from Eastern literature. When you examine all the literary work of the West, actually, they are copying from the Eastern writers. So today, when you want to understand ecology use, what is the use? When humans live in balance. I'm talking about some 4 billion years ago, humans came. Human evolution 4 billion years ago, 40 lakhs of years ago, the first human, he appeared on the planet Earth. So that human, he was able to live in balance with the earth. The earth resources and humans, they were using very wisely in a sacred balance. They were not taking too much. They were not wasting. They were not creating too much of waste and filling the earth with plastic papers. They took only little soil. They took only enough food, little water. So we are talking about, tell you, most part of the human history was good life. We were living with a good sense of relationship with the earth. We never exploited. Then came 1850, Industrial Revolution, Agricultural Revolution. 1960 came Green Revolution. Exploitation started. Abuse. You know, use means in those times they wrote beautiful literature like Sangam literature. You know, Ettu Togai, Pattu Pattu, you know that Sangam literature, no? Naladiyar, Thirukural, before that, Tolkapiyar. The Sangakala Ilakyam people, we studied in Tamil school, you remember? All those items, that is the balanced life. Humans and earth were living in a good relationship. So, but in English literature, only in 1750, they came to understand what is the balanced life. So they wrote, that time is known as the Romanticism. They romanticized nature. What is a romance? Usually romance is what is a Romeo and Juliet. A boy and a girl, they romance. That is what the meaning. So exactly, humans, they romanced nature. Nature is a woman, a girl, Mother Earth. So literature is a man, symbol of male entity. So they were also, what is that? writing only. In abuse, that is middle of the 19th century, when you destroy soil, water, how are you going to live? You can't live. So today that's what we are facing. We destroyed everything. Today only few resources are left for the future generation. For your children, not much left. Because our generation is telling everything is the manifestation of God. That is transcendentalism. You see God, Vanagi, Kadavule, you became a sky. You are the soil. You are the water. When you feel thirsty, God becomes the water. When you want a mango fruit, God becomes a mango fruit. When you want to eat a banana, God becomes a banana. When you want to eat a biryani, God becomes a biryani. So completely Vanagi, Mannagi, Vadiyagi, Uliyagi, Unagi, Uyiragi. Look at that. He becomes food, he becomes water, he becomes life. Unmayumai, Inmayumai. He becomes a lie also. When you say a lie, God becomes a lie. When you say truth, God becomes the truth. Wow, what a writing in the 7th century. But our English writers, after almost 12 centuries, 1200 years, they got the point. And they are writing about the manifestation of God in nature. You understand now? Our ancient were written in India, which talk about the immanent God who is present here, now, within you. Antaryami. Atman, Brahman, and Antaryami means the God who lives in you. So see, we have gone much deeper into transcendentalism. What is the transcendentalism? God who lives in heaven. Or, when you see the nature, you go much deeper, it is a reflection of God. So that is transcendentalism. Through nature, we reach to God. You go into the forest and you unravel God Himself. You see God there. So ultimately, wherever you go, you see God. The nature reveals the Maker. It reveals God Himself. So that is transcendentalism. So they were writing, come on, preserve nature, because it is God. Don't spit on soil. You're not spitting on soil, you're spitting on the very. So nature became something sacred. Sacred. So everything is sacred. Now, the last stage is environmentalism based on ecological intelligence and ecological environmentalism. Now, whatever you write, it is known as the environmentalism. You write about your mountain in your village. You write about the lake in your village. You write about your agriculture, about your cows, about your sheep, about your chicken, about fish in the ocean you write. You are eating today fish, and you write what fish you ate. And then you tell them this fish is good or bad. How did your mom prepare? Did she put it in the oil, or she made the curry? When you make a curry out of a good fish, that's good for you. If you want to put it in palm oil, you bring a chicken and put it in the oil and you think it's a fish and you eat it. So, that our lifestyle is so bad. And we exploit the fish in the ocean. There are no fish stocks available. You know, when I was a small little kid, a fish is big, like a vanjaram fish. Each piece is like this, at least some 4 or 5 inches big. But today, you go and get the vanjaram fish only 2-3 inches, maximum 4 inches. The stocks are declining very, very fast. You should write about that. So environmentalism means that you write about your lifestyle, how you relate with the nature, how your relationship with the nature. Next. See our Vedas, Atharva Veda, that's a literature. See they how beautifully they are. Oh goddess earth, the concept Vishnu, you whose garments are the ocean and whose ornaments are the hills and mountains. So when I walk, I ask forgiveness. Oh God, I am walking on you. I am putting the feet on the soil, which is you. Because soil is a manifestation of God. Did I say when you spit on the soil, you spit on the face of God. So you are walking on the face of God. So the Vedas is offering, they are begging forgiveness from God Himself. I am walking on the earth, please forgive me for putting my feet on you. பரிபாடல் எட்டு தொகை பியூட்டிஃபுல். சி புண்ணும் பொருளும் போகமும் அல்ல நின்பால் அன்பும் அருளும் அரணும் மூன்றும். Look at that. We don't want economic growth. We don't want money. We don't want wealth. We don't want to destroy any part of it. What we want is more அன்பும் அருளும் blessings and அரணம் மூன்று. அரணம் means அறம், justice. Human beings all about aram. Without aram, you are not a human being at all. Because of aram, human beings are made. If you don't have aram, that's why Sangagaram literature, aram, even Tiruvalla, famous literature from India. Kalidasa talks about natural world. He says natural world full of gifts. Full of gifts, like Shakuntala. That's why he calls Shakuntala. Who is the Shakuntala? Mahabharata, Dushyanta's wife. Bharatiya, he calls son as a brother. For Western literature, Francis of Assisi is the father figure of Western literature. For Shakespeare, Shelley or Byron, or he puts it so beautifully here. You see, he sees God Himself, finds tongues in trees. You know the leaves, Nasoga tree, you have the long leaves. He calls them tongues. God, I am seeing your tongue. They are not leaves. God is talking to me. When they shake, God is telling, hey, Krishna, hey, Madhumati, how are you doing? So, I love you. Those leaves are talking to you. That's what Shakespeare is an atheist, Shakespeare never believed in God. But such a beautiful poet, an atheist poet, he talks about God's presence in nature. That is what he says, tongues in trees, books in the running brooks. No, there are sermons, there are literature. The whole biography of the earth is written inside the stone. When you sit on the stone, you get energy. You are charged. Your cell phone is being naturally charged. So much of energy it releases. So that's why he says it's a sermon. God is speaking through stones. Stone is a reflection of God Himself. Then he says, who did everything, I would not change it. Bible, when God created 6 days, each day, the writer puts it, everything God found good. 6 times he writes. The same thing Shakespeare is repeating there. Good in everything, I will not change it. That means humans, you don't have any right to change it. In other words, you don't have a right to destroy anything of any part of the natural world. You understand that? So he's telling, I will not change it. So today, my dear kids, I want to tell you, we have destroyed your future. We have taken, we have stolen your wealth in order to live in affluence. We did a big mistake. For you, we have left nothing. So we are changed. So you need to awaken yourself. You have got only 20% remaining now, 80% lost. Most of the natural resources lost to the planet, only 20% remain. So you need to take control. I would not change it. Don't destroy that 20%. Or your children, you keep them intact for your future generations. Romanticism, as I told you, humans romanticize nature like a woman. At the same time, it was a time of industrial revolution. Capitalism is being born. This is an emotion. See, during that time, emotions were given importance, not the logic. Intuition was given importance, not the science. Instinct was given importance, not reasoning. In other words, it is like other creatures take over instinct. Only one creature goes by reasoning. That is us, humans. Homo sapiens. All other creatures instinct. Only humans go by reason. Who is making mistakes? Animals or human? Who is making many mistakes? Blunders. Only human. A species goes by reason. So the instinct is the common emotion to all life on earth. So the poets, they try to experience instinct. These are the famous noted works at that time. Romanticism. These are the poets. At least you should know some names of it. See, Thomas Gray, James Thomson, William Collins, George Gravett, John Keats, William Wordsworth, Lord Byron. The value of the nature. There are intrinsic value, historical value, scientific value, ecological value, symbolic value. See how many values. The poems, they talk about the values. That is what the English literary writers aimed. William Blake, he writes one other poem, to see the world. You see the words, world, heaven, infinity, eternity. These are the 4 words. How can I explain to you? This world, we don't know anything. What is heaven? Did anybody see heaven? Nobody saw that. Hell? Anybody saw? Nobody. The third, infinity. What is infinity? Where can we set the limit? Did anybody go to the far edge of the universe and saw the infinity? Nobody. Eternity. Did anybody see eternity? And you take the small grain of sand, that is the world. Didn't I say that Andam and Pindam? So a sand symbolizes planet Earth. Everything is there. A small grain of sand contains the whole universe. So that is what the world you see. The second one, heaven in a flower. Nobody has seen heaven. But did you see flowers? That is symbolizes heaven. When you look at a flower, you feel happy. To understand words used by philosophers and theologians. This is a poem in which he writes, Auguries of Innocence. This is Lord Byron. He talks about the woods. See the woods, lonely shore. How humans relate with the natural world, with ecosystems. So this poem is a very beautiful poem, and you need to read later on. I don't have a time, I'm going to run through. William Wordsworth, he writes very, very sad because of industrial revolution. 1850, England was completely black, smoke, fossil fuel burning, capitalism. He feels sad. Look at that. He writes that though the radiance which was once so bright be now forever taken from my side, Though nothing can bring back the hour of splendor in the grass, glory in the flower, we will grieve not, rather find strength in what remains behind. He says, we can't bring back the things we destroyed, but we can worry about what remains. Didn't I tell you 80% gone? You can't bring back. Even if you kill this generation, you won't bring back. But that 20%, you can save it. And you can preserve it. So that's what's grieve not what has been lost, but rather find strength in what remains behind. This poem is a beautiful poem. It gives hope to you. To this generation, even though it was written in the 18th century, today it gives you hope for the present generation right here in Siga. You call it, this is the name of what Don Bosco, Don Bosco Arts and Science College. The poet William Wordsworth is telling you there is hope. There is hope. Don't give place for despair. Don't ruin yourself. Please think about future creation of the world, renewing everything. Alright, this is a daffodils, the famous poem. You please look at the daffodils. In those days, those scientists write about astronomy, about stars, about planets. Nobody saw daffodils. All the philosophers and theologians, they were looking at the sky, thinking high, telescopes. But Wordsworth is telling, come on, go out and look at the soil. There are flowers. And they are dancing. They are performing to you. They are dancing to you. And why don't you sit down and watch them? And it leaves a lasting experience. You go to the bedroom, when you lie down on the bed, those daffodils, they come to your mind. It reminds you the beauty of nature. Not only that, you dream about them. And the ocean sound. He gives a beautiful picture. He puts words to every movement in creation, the nature. So such a beautiful poem. You read this. It's very famous. When you talk about William Wordsworth, you say daffodils, and people will think, wow, you are an intelligent man. This is nothing. Nothing means, you know the hazelnuts? So the same William Wordsworth is taking us to a forest where a tree is full of nuts. Completely. There are thorns, brambles. And he writes, also some flowers are underneath. He wants to get some nuts. And he wants to go and claim and then break branches and bring and destroy. In order to get few nuts, he wants to destroy the whole branch. There in this poem, you see the human activity, what we do in the natural world today. What humans do. We want to get little bit of vegetables and we buy so many and put it in the refrigerator. And the power cut is happening. All the meat, all the vegetables, you are wasting. So the waste we create. So what we need, you should take. So this poem tells you, it is not the use that is criticized here, it is the abuse that is criticized. It is the overconsumption that is pointed out. It is not the consumption. You consume, we all need to consume, but overconsumption. So this poem is giving a very direct lesson to all of us to be very frugal. Use the resources, but don't abuse the resources. This is the ancient story, Jain story. You see here, they want only mangoes. One fellow goes up and he is picking up only the fruit. Where is the number one? This is the number 5. See the fruit? He is picking only fruit. Number 4 is picking also kacha. That is the green mangoes, isn't it? And number 3 is cutting a small branch in order to get few mangoes. And then the fourth one is, the second one is, see here, cutting a big branch in order to get mangoes. Number 1 is cutting the whole tree in order to get few mangoes. At last, this man, he goes and finds the fruit which has fallen down under the tree, and he gathers them and he takes the fruit home. So that's a great lesson. I think it is just a parallel to William Wordsworth, 18th century poem, Jainism in India. They gave this story 600 years before Christ. Such a beautiful, beautiful story from India. We should be proud about it. This is a Shelley. See here, he talks about ecosystem services. See here, provisioning service, regulating service, cultural service, all these services. Natural ecosystem gives you food, gives you oxygen to breathe, pollination. All the food is pollinated by the bees, photosynthesis, and carbon cycle, hydrologic cycle creates rain. See here, these are known as the ecosystem services. And who is going to recycle the waste? Who is going to recycle the water? Everything is done for free. They are known as the ecosystem free services. So that is what Percy Shelley is writing in this poem. See there? He talks about autumn, winter, spring, and summer. The whole thing is a cycle. So it's a renewal phase. Sometimes you see destruction, sometimes you see death, sometimes you see life, sometimes you see only a dryness. Sometimes you see the beautiful smell of flowers. So life is the combination of everything. That's amazing, amazing. The last one here, I want to tell you, Charles Darwin, you know, the famous book, I told you about. What is that book name again? Tell me. Origin of Species, excellent, good. So 1856. And from that book, you get this beautiful literature. I think this is a good lesson for you. Remember, adaptation. Your future vision is only adaptation. If you don't adapt, you perish. There are only 2 options: perish or adapt. There is nothing in between. So you have come to that level. You disappear and die or adapt. So what do you do? What do you want to do? Perish or adapt? Perish or adapt?
Adapt.
Some people want to perish, I guess. Adapt, mostly. I think so. So, see, such a great mind gives us a beautiful quote. I want to read it for you. It is not the strongest species that survives, nor the most intelligent, but the most adaptable to change that survives. I hope you are that species. I hope to see that you are the adaptable species. So your future is assured. There is no doubt about it. Here are some of the poems I give you. You go and read for yourself. Henry Howard, The Sweet Season. Sweet means sweet, sweet. This is Charlotte Smith, Beachy Head. William Wordsworth, I already told you, that is the daffodil. John Clare, On a Lane in Spring. Thomas Hardy, The Darkling Thrush. Houseman, Tell Me Not Here, It Needs Not Saying. Davis, Leisure. Edward Thomas, Thaw, that is snow melting. Ted Hughes, Snowdrop. Sylvia Plath, Poppies in October. These are the famous romanticism writing. So when you talk about romanticism, you do that. So transcendentalism, it came in the middle of the century. This is Tiruvasaka Managi Managi example, so that you can remember what transcendentalism is all about. So you remember our famous Manika Vasaka. See, it says in Periya Puranam, Pullagi, Pudai Puduvagi, Maramagi, Pal Virgamagi, Paravayai, Pambai, Kallai, Manidarai, Peyai, Kanangalai, Valla Sudaragi, Munivarai, Devarai, Challa, Nindrai, Kavara Sangamathu, Yella Prabhu. What a writing. Look at Manika Vasaka. He says he was a soil, he was a stone, he was a water, he was a fire, he was everything. All kinds of words he has experienced. So in other words, we are the earthly beings, we are here. We are eternal. Something eternal. We are not mortal. We come again and again and again. That is the implication. Ralph Waldo Emerson was a transcendental writer. So he says it's a union, not separation. You remember I told you in the beginning of the PowerPoint, the Eastern thought is about understanding God, human, creation together, isn't it? We are all one. In Western dualism, you separate everything. But now the Western world is coming to the understanding of the East. So he says no separation is possible. First time in the West, that is Ralph Waldo Emerson. He paved the way for the unity. Henry Thoreau is another one, famous writer from Boston. You know Mahatma Gandhi? Mahatma Gandhi became a freedom fighter after reading Henry David Thoreau. This was the man who inspired Mahatma Gandhi. Mahatma Gandhi, all his principles, he modeled after the philosophy of this writer, Henry Thoreau. You see, he gives us the same idea of cosmotheandric vision. What does it mean? Cosmos means world. Theos means God. Andros means human. God and world, in other words, nature, and also the third one, what is that? Human. Exactly. See, all the three in one word, cosmotheandric vision. Very good. You people are listening. I thought you are sleeping or something, but I'm proud about this. Unga age really, I have to give credit. I have to salute you. 8 minutes, you are lost. 1 hour, this age group doesn't have ability to listen, I know that. But still you are in a college. We need to talk to you. And many people I see really grasping their eyes, the way they sit down. Really, they are listening. And that encourages me to talk at least. Because I don't want to talk half an hour. But today, they have given me this time. I told half an hour is enough. They told this is a classroom, Father, you do it, children will listen. But they don't listen, I told. But you are disproving everything. And you are, really, I am so proud about you in the sense, because you sense the danger, something is going to happen in the future. So we need to learn. We should use all the advices, all the resources in order to make our survival possible. So that is the mindset I see here. It is a premonition. It is not that you try to listen, but you are made to listen. It's about your future. Did I say perish or adapt? So you are in the adapting mode, I guess. So I think really this seminar really encourages me. This is the group listening for a long time and also lunchtime. And I wish that I can finish it, but I will run through very fast and you can go and have your lunch also. What is the time now? Can anybody tell me what is the time now? 1:40. Walden Pond. You Google later on what is Walden Pond. Walden Pond is nothing but Coombe River. Exactly symbolizes another Coombe River in Boston, in He goes there, 2 years, he's sitting here. See his house? Small house he built. This is a kuvam, stinking water hole, very dirty water, bad smell, but he's sitting 2 years there. And he tries to meditate. Can anybody meditate along the banks of Kuvam River? Will run away. Nothing will come, even you can't breathe there. But this man sitting there, and he writes, look at that. He writes, there are moments when all anxiety, stated toil, or be calmed in the infinite leisure and repose of nature. Wilderness to Thoreau was something spiritual. A swamp means Kuvam River. For him, simply say, I don't understand. But don't say it is bad. That means you don't have humility. That's why you say bad. But you need to exercise humility all the time, and then you will understand everything, how they are related, what is the purpose of everything. Mother Teresa, he sees nature as a silent. Kuvam River, it may be smelling, but it is silent. Silent. Even in that smelly environment, something is happening. Something is transforming in silence. We need to find God, and He cannot be found in noise and restlessness. God is the friend of silence. See how nature, trees, fly to read for me. Let's see who is good among me. This is a beautiful poem which gives you amazing insights. It's very spiritual, mystical poem. Literature is about mysticism. Mysticism means something we don't understand, something beyond our understanding. So, poetry makes that impact on us. This poem will make you that impact. So, who is going to read? You? Read. Stand up. Read it loud and clear.
I think I shall never see a poem lovely as tree.
A tree whose hungry mouth is pressed against the earth's flowing breast. A tree that looks at God the whole day and lifts her leafy arms to pray. A tree that may in summer wear a nest of robins in her hair, upon whose bosom snow has lain.
Planet Earth itself is a bosom, it's a breast, it's symbolized like a breast where this tree is connected like a mouth, the root is like a mouth, and it grows. While it grows, it gives you so many goodness to other creatures, to robins, produces fruit, and it goes up to God, it seems. And those leaves, they pray to God, they flutter their wings. There is music, there is song, there is the devotion, everything. It's a mystical writing about a tree. So when you look at a tree, it's what do you understand about tree anyway? Nobody understands. You put a seed and it grows. How come? And it produces so much of fruit, so many seeds, and it gives you so much of services free. You know, a tree gives you a shade. In your house you go, somebody, who are you? This is my house, get out, you say. But tree won't say that. Tree welcomes everybody. And dog won't enter in your house, but the tree welcomes even a dog, even a sick dog, a mad dog, even a pig, even a dirty beggar. Everybody welcomes the tree. From childhood till death, it's useful to you. When you're born, it becomes a toy. When you die, it becomes a casket. Isn't it? From life, every stage, trees nurturing you. So the earth is nurturing the tree. So when you take a tree, you are taking a baby from the mother's bosom. Mother is nursing the tree, and you are snatching away the tree like a small baby. It is an infanticide. You are killing baby. It's abortion. When you kill a tree, It's equal to abortion. So that is what the poet. It's a mysticism that when you read and contemplate, that is an amazing lesson we have. So now we have come to the last stage. So far, Christianity is only about humans. It's about human welfare, human future, human progress, human domination. That is what we have been listening, isn't it? But now, the poems, they're going to talk about humans are not important. It is nature is more important than humans. So far, we have been thinking only human. It's known as anthropocentrism. Now, poems are going to enter into biocentrism. That means nature is more important than human who is living in the nature. So that is what the writing is all about. All right. See here in the middle of the 16th century, Christianity talks about human rights. You have got your own right to bring out your own babies and you have to grow them up to flourish. The third is to fulfill your role for the common good of the universe. Everybody shares the same rights. The chicken, the cow, the pig, the fish, humans, only three. To exist, to flourish, to fulfill. These are the three fundamental rights. So now, the 15th century John Calvin writes about humans. Forget that you are the most important. Every life on earth is important. That is the writing. If God had formed us of the stuff of the sun or the stars, or if He created any other celestial matter out of which man could have been